Props, you gotta love them. They're all over Garry's mod. When you're going to be playing this game, you're going to be interacting with a prop in one way or another, but there's only one slight issue when it comes to maneuvering these props, and that is that even though the fizz gun is good, especially with its snap to rotate feature and all these other cool things you can do, it is still somewhat limited. And let's just say that if you did want to, say, pile something on top of one another, well, if you try to go all willy-nilly like this, you might have issues where this bottom prop moves. Okay, well, no problems. Simply freeze the bottom one in place and then go ahead and try our best to put this on, and then the same with this. But even if you're, you know, not as talented as me, of course, I mean, look how perfect this looks, then thankfully I have a mod for you guys, and that is known as the Easy Precision Tool, a very nice and handy little tool that pretty much just makes it extremely easy to stack things on one another. So it couldn't be any easier to use. Simply point at what you want to stack, and then simply go to the thing that you want to stack it on, and you'll see it snaps automatically. Press left click, and now it'll move. Now you're gonna notice that sometimes it'll be a little off kilter, you know, like let's go ahead and just move this away. As you can see, it's a little bit, you know, not quite what we want. Well, that's okay. Press the R key and you will snap it into place. Now this is obviously not in the right area, so we're going to go ahead and move it. And now we're going to snap it in place, and look at that. Perfectly aligned. Couldn't be any better. Now be mindful that the props are not going to be welded automatically, so you do have to do that. But that's good because it gives us the power. So if we wanted to like weld it onto, I don't know, this for some reason, now we don't have to like change anything. It just all works. And we have a perfect one-to-one block. Alright, so obviously a block is pretty simple to use this on, but let's go ahead and do something a bit more complicated. Also, I do want to mention, guys, that you do get a few options here. You get the option to snap the cursor to the grid, which, as you can see, there's the grid right there. So if you wanted a good visual representation of what the grid looked like, then that is a good option for you. You can also adjust the grid size by its X, Y, and Z axes, which we're not going to touch because it's pretty good so far. So you can obviously choose any point of the prop that you want to use, as you can see from these points here. But if we wanted to go for like the bottom corner here, now we're going to attach it based on that. And again, we get a perfect stacking method. In fact, let's go ahead and weld this while we're here. Alright, sweet. Now we have this. A beautiful metallic tower that we can use for whatever the hell we want. I don't know what this is really meant for, but I wanted to show that it does work. Be careful when moving this thing against other hard surfaces, because if you let it go, it might do that. Alright, so let's try something a bit more practical. Here we have 4 walls that are the exact same size. So if we wanted to connect these, naturally it would be a pain in the ass to try to match it up. But of course the best thing is that right here, we can use this tool to perfectly align everything. And again, you can make it match up to the grid. Just be careful, because if it's already perfect, you might end up messing it up. So we're going to go ahead and just reattach these, and look at that. Perfectly aligned, so you don't have to fiddle with the fizz gun ever again. Let's go ahead and put this last one on. Alright, we'll put it on this end. And perfect. So now we're going to weld all these together. There we go. I think I did it right. And there we have it. A perfectly long board. Now, we moved it around a bit and kind of messed it up, but that's pretty much as good as you're ever physically going to get when it comes to mixing walls together like this. Now, obviously, not the most useful thing, but if you manipulate them just a little bit with the fizz gun to put them straight up like this, I think you guys might be seeing where I'm going with this. We're going to build a cube. Now again, a cube could be extremely annoying to make in Garry's mod by itself, but with this tool, it's going to make it extremely easy. Now again, it won't always be perfect depending on our orientation. Obviously we kind of messed up here, but that's okay because we can simply reposition and everything is good to go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just move this around, attach it to the corner there. Once again, not quite right, but using the R key, we can realign it to the grid, and now it is absolutely perfect. We just have one left to go. All right, go ahead, grab by the corner, and there you guys have it. But of course, we are missing one last piece. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it from the middle here, and we're going to try to put this. Now, this might be difficult, so in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the corner. Should be a lot easier. All right, so we can see that it's not quite aligned, and that is where, again, using the fizz gun to kind of help out here. Now we can grab it by the corner, and it's perfect, just like that. Now we can simply weld all these pieces together, albeit we probably should have welded the bottom piece before we did this, but you know what? We could simply just do this. All right, so I have it aligned, but again, we have this bottom piece, but it's okay, because we have the easy precision tool. We can simply just do that, and it does freeze it in place for you. It just, again, will not weld it, but we can simply do this, and now we have our own little cube. If only I put Odessa in there beforehand. But you know what they say, it's never quite too late. So we're gonna go ahead and undo some of these welds. The box pops open, and we're gonna go ahead and throw our little buddy in there. All right, almost done. Just gotta do the finishing touches, and there we have it. Now we're just gonna go ahead and weld this together, and our buddy Odessa should be nice and tidy in his new box. So naturally, now that we have this all together, there's only... Alright, well that's not exactly how I thought that was going to go, but you guys get the gist of it. It's going to make creating so much easier for all you guys out there that love to build, and the best thing is just like the name states, it's easy. So there's not really a lot to this. I could spend like 10 minutes just putting things together, but I do think you guys understand what this is all for. So as always guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. This was of course a mini-mod showcase. Sorry about my recent absence for like 4 days, that's definitely unheard of. Definitely won't happen for a very long time though. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.